Hey everyone, Adrian here over at the Sampleist, and today we're diving into a drum machine that's a bit of a hidden gem, the Korg KR-55. This classic analogue preset drum machine from 1979 may not be the first name that comes to mind, but trust me, it's got a history really worth exploring. The KR-55 was unique for its time. Unlike many other drum machines of the era, it didn't have any processors on board. Instead, it used read-only memory circuit boards to store its patterns, relying on a chaotic web of digital circuits, and you engineers out there will know this as glue logic. Despite this, Korg packed in an impressive 96 preset rhythm patterns covering everything from waltz and bossa nova to swing and rock, and if that wasn't enough, it even had a swing beat function to add groove, giving those patterns an extra bit of life. This machine had its fair share of fans, and if you're into classical sort of electronic music, you've definitely heard the KR-55A, because Jean-Michel Jarre used it to great effect in his fantastic album Magnetic Fields. Meanwhile, bands like Trio and Depeche Mode also put the instrument to good use. The KR-55A and 55B had subtle differences, with some rhythmic variations between the two models, sort of like the samba beat didn't quite sound the same in the B model than it did in the earlier A model. So let's fast forward to today, and Cherry Audio has resurrected this vintage beauty with their latest release, aptly named the KR-55C. But they didn't just replicate it, they expanded it. Right out of the box, you're going to get 240 brand new factory patterns, complete with intros and fills. And on top of that, they've included all 200 patterns from both original models, giving you a massive library of classic grooves to work with. Cherry Audio has also introduced modern sequencing options in this instrument. You can program in real time or use step editing mode for more precision. And if you're into song creation, you can chain up to 99 patterns for some seriously deep rhythmic sequencing. The KR-55C is available for just $49, and it comes in AU, VST, VST3, AAX and also standalone formats. If you're on a Mac, you're going to need 150 meg of disk space, and for the PC users, slightly less, 97 meg. Just keep in mind, you'll need an internet connection to activate this instrument, and once it's activated, you're good to go. So enough talk, let's dive in and check out some of the sounds from this machine. So how am I going to tackle this instrument? What we're going to do is play through some of the presets up here, and you will see it swap between the models, the 55A and the 55B, and you will see also a few of the steps and patterns that each preset comes with. We will then move on to looking at the actual original presets that came with the 55A and 55B before taking a little bit of a dive into some of the controls in this instrument before wrapping up with a little sort of, well, there's no need for a composition really. What we're going to do is create some sort of rhythms to show just how easy it is to create something interesting. what this instrument sounds like. What we're going to look at now is just a quick look at the interface here, because at the top right hand corner we've got your preset, we've got a user patterns allow you to program your own presets. Clearly going to play presets that are down here and from the original KR-55A and B, and to select the models you just flick the switch. So to choose one of these presets, A runs along the top, B is the white ones in white here, and C is the ones in green. So if I put C and hit that one, I should get a march rhythm. And if I press the intro button, you get an intro before you start the main beat. So kind of cool there. You also then be able to play around with the swing. Now with 8 beats, you're not going to hear anything. Well, thankfully this isn't. So you can add some swing to it. And if I flick over to the 55B model, you'll suddenly see this becomes live. So it's not in here, it's grey, I can't do anything. But the 55B model came with 2 pattern groups. So, and you notice these labels change as well. So if I go back to the march and change the pattern, we get a different rhythm. So those are the presets there. We saw the patches that were programmed in before. We had a quick play through some of those. Now, to get to programming this with your own, you need to go into User, and these buttons allow you to put basically the steps. So you've got 16 steps there, so you can trigger whatever you want. Come to that in a minute. You'll notice here, where it's in preset it says intro fill, there is no intro fill in the user mode. Instead, it will trigger the sound of the instruments that you've selected here. Never have too much cowbell. If you're ever in doubt, add cowbell. And this is just completely endless encoder, so it just keeps on going round and round and round. You have to flick back. Here we can edit the instrument itself, so we'll stick with the drum beat, and you can control this on your keyboard. So see down the bottom end of the keyboard will play the bass drum, and you can do an EQ. Give it more bump, body, more click. And tune it, and put some decay on. But then you can do that for literally all of them. So if I put that to snare, make it darker. Design your whole drum kit as to how you want. We'll come back to a bit more on this page in a minute, because what I want to show you now is this page is your mix, so you can change your volume of each drum itself and add an effect per drum. So if I wanted, that's quite dry, if I wanted to put some reverb, and then we can go on to here, and reverb is on the right hand side, and I can change it to what I like, galactic. So you can play around with some reverb. You can put some echo on here as well if you want to. Up the feedback, go back to the mix, and we shall put echo in. What was some ping pong? What a feedback. Just for demonstration purposes. So you've got quite a sort of powerful way of tweaking and shaping your sound. So if we go back to this page, we'll just have a quick look at the program section and how you program your own actual beats. So what I want to do here is program my own patterns and beats. So for a change, we'll use the 55B model, and what we will do is change that to bass drum. And if I switch one of these on, it's as simple as this. If it's highlighted with a red dot, it means it will play a bass drum. So if I just do a straight 4 to the floor pattern, and we will add a bit of verb to this. That's a little bit too much. That's perfect. That's what I want, just a little bit like this. And then all I need to do is say I want a snare, move that to snare and go, I'll have a snare on the second beat, fourth beat, have some closed hi-hat, and what I want to do now is a bit of echo. It's just as simple as that. And what we can do then is I want to do a second pattern. So if I do a second pattern, and this time we'll make it completely different in the sense of we'll just have some hi-hats play. And two bass drums like that. So we've got two patterns. Now we can put these together as a mini song in a way. So flick that switch. I want to play pattern 1 twice. I want to play on the third, I want to play pattern 2. And then if I press start, that's it. So you can build your own patterns by doing that. You also have another 16 steps to play with, and what I mean by that is, well, at the moment we've got 16 steps programmed in. Now if I want to do and enable this button here, 17 to 32 steps, all I need to do is change that to pattern and rack that up to 32, and now I can access these. And this auto alt on, how you want to pronounce that, it's basically auto alternate. And what it'll do is once you get to the end of that 16 step, first 16 step, it'll flick on over to the next 16 so you can see where you're up to, which is a quite handy little feature. I'm in the standalone mode of for this KR-55C, but if you're in a DAW, you can drag and drop on your export by just clicking hole in here and then dropping that into your DAW directly. Now, if you want to, after sort of like tweaking these presets, if you want to export a preset, you notice this panel's sort of like a fake plastic cover here. You just need to go into the select preset, and if you go to Factory KR-55B, you will find in here the settings. So we're on Jazz 1. So if I go 55B Jazz 1, that's the same pattern. And all I can do then is drag and drop and export that pattern. So it's sort of like quite intuitive way of building your sequence, you can build your whole pattern and song in here and then just drag and drop it to your DAW. Quite handy. So let's try and put together a few more beats. So there you have it, the KR-55C, a faithful recreation of a vintage classic, now packed with modern features. Whether you're after the nostalgic 80s rhythm or looking for a simple no-fuss drum machine to drop into your projects, this one's worth a really serious look. For just $49 you're going to get a deep collection of patterns, hands-on control and seamless integration into any DAW. It is gotta be a no-brainer for producers, synth lovers and anyone who appreciates old school drum machines. So what do you think? Have you used the original KR-55 or its modern counterpart? Drop a comment below and let us know. I really would love to sort of like hear your thoughts on this. For me, this is just pure nostalgia. Having grown up in the late 70s and 80s, the sound of this instrument, it just transported me back to those distant sounds of pounding electronic beats from the 80s. The instrument is very intuitive and nicely laid out, keeping to the original as much as it possibly can, whilst adding additional functions that Cherry Audio like to do, so it brings it up to the modern era. It's just so simple to create driving drum patterns. So before wrapping up, I'd like to give a big thanks to Cherry Audio for sending KR-55C over for us to review. It is really much appreciated. And you dear viewers, if you enjoy this video and want to support the channel, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. We're not sponsored and don't have any affiliate links, so your support is what keeps this channel going. And if you're interested in more drum machines from Cherry Audio, check out our review of the KR-58. Just click on this video to watch it now. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, stay sonic, stay creative. See you in the next one.